Mecole, it seemed like the entire house was ready to send Felicia out the door, and then instead you're knocked out unanimously 7-0. What do you think happened?
I mean, I think that what I knew going into this week is, although I was being painted as the pawn, I knew that there was a strong possibility that I could easily become the target. I knew that people would possibly perceive me to be the stronger competitor and that I had a good social game. And so, while unfortunate, also not surprising to me.
We got to talk about the exit. For a few things. First off, you refused to hug Cory on your way out. Why is that?
I know that he was responsible for flipping the vote. I have been a victim to his vote flipping, unfortunately, and also have been a part of it in evictions prior to. So, I knew that he had played some role in it. And I also knew that America had played a heavy role in it as well. So I did think that it was authentic of me, if you will, to do the hugging and the keying with them while they were secretly plotting my demise. So I opted out.
You called Cory, America, and Bowie Jane out on your way out the door. And then you pointed at the people they were targeting. At the camera angle, what we saw, we couldn't see who you were pointing at. So walk us through exactly what you were doing there, who you were pointing out and saying were next on their hit list.
So I was pointing out Jag, Matt, and Baloo. So earlier that week during my pitch, I was having a conversation with America, and she was just like, me, you, and Cory, like, we've all worked together before. We would like to continue this moving forward. Like, who else do you feel comfortable with? And I was like, I really don't feel like I have anyone, especially if Mama Fee leaves. I kind of feel like I'm out here alone. Besides you two, I don't feel like I can trust anyone. And she's like, oh, well, I love Bowie Jane. You should get to know Bowie Jane. She's so smart. She really trusts Cory. She looks to him as sort of an advisor. So I really think you should get to know Bowie Jane. And I was just like, don't really know about that per se, but sure. So, my plan on the way out was just to tell a little white lie and also spill a little tea. America seemed to know so much about Bowie Jane. So I figured the rest of the house should know how much she knows about her.
Just throw a little bomb over your shoulder as you walk out the door?
Yeah, just throw a little bomb over my shoulder. America was always saying, Mimi doesn't talk game to me. She doesn't talk game to me. Everyone is saying that they didn't know where I stood. And I also don't think that they know where each other stand either. So it was just a convenient characterization. So I figured that I'd make them scramble a little bit before I walked out the door.
Let's talk about your strategy once you were put on the block. It seemed to be sort of, hey, hang back, not make waves, maybe let Felicia dig her own grave here. Why didn't that work? And do you think you should have been maybe a little more aggressive, making some deals?
I could have been a little more aggressive, but part of me wanted to stay true to how I played the game, which was to not go around making a bunch of BS deals that I knew I couldn't really hold true to. I don't really like to speak for my future self. You learn that while working in politics. You only want to speak to what you're able to do in the present tense. So, my strategy that week was to lay as low as possible, but also not to seem too frazzled or too worried, although I was super anxious and not getting much sleep that week. And I knew that Mama Fee is a fighter and that she would obviously campaign for herself. And I didn't think that she would campaign against me. But I knew that she would go around making a lot of deals and promising a lot of things that people knew that she wouldn't be able to hold up to. So I wanted my strategy to be opposite of that when I went into those conversations.
I mean, it seemed like, and you tell me, it seemed like it sort of mirrored your strategy for the game, which was keep a low profile, let the flashier folks keep taking shots at each other, and I'll just hang right here and avoid the crossfire.
Yeah, I mean, so I've spent my career working in politics. So I've been, tasked with tons of important decisions. And I know that oftentimes when you are a decision maker and a mover and shaker, while it could seem to be a more popular position, you also tend to get a lot of envy, and you also tend to make yourself a target. And that's what I did not want to do in this game. I knew that the house would be filled with tons of big personalities and tons of masterminds and strategists. And I didn't come here to win America's favorite player. I came here to win $750,000. So I figured that I'd let the big personalities get their shine on, while I kind of hung back and see what it was like in the backyard.
Speaking of big personalities, so how does your view of the game and the alliances in the house change now, knowing that Sari and Jared Are mother and son?
Oh, it changes. Okay, first of all, I am still shook. Okay. Like I had a nightmare about them being mother and son. Because so many things make sense to me now. I'm like, oh, epiphany. But it really does change everything. I kept thinking to myself, why is she spending so much time up there? They seem to have such a close relationship. At some point, he moved out of the scary room and into the comic room. And, after losing the zombie resurrection, he was in there and he was tearful and crying. And she was talking to him and consoling him. And even out during the zombie resurrection, she was cheering him on and was the only one out there that was verbally, coaching him through what was going on. And, now that I sit back and know that they are mother and son, I'm like, wow, this all makes sense. I'm such an idiot. How did I miss that?
Give me your analyst hat for a second. Who's playing the best game in the house? Not necessarily who you want to win, but who's playing the best so far? I think a lot can change between now and finale night, but right now at this point, who's playing the best?
It's so hard to say, but if I had to pick anyone, I would probably say Matt. Just because he is well liked and well received in the house, he also has the ability to win comps. Although he hasn't won that many, he has showed that he can win if and when necessary. And I just think that people love Matt and is someone who, while they know they probably can't beat at the end of this game, is someone that they would probably like to take to the end of this game. So I probably have to go with Matt.
Who are you rooting for to win this game?
I hate everybody. But if I had to pick two people to sit in those final two chairs, I'm going to go Matt and Sari.
This is a question for anyone that doesn't win the game. If you could get a do-over and go back and change anything you did during the game that would maybe take you down a different path that leads to you not talking to me right now, what would it be? I
would probably try to trust more people. I think my downfall in this game is that I truly trusted no one. And so I just didn't feel comfortable sharing my strategy and sharing all of my thoughts and opinions because the house is like a leaky faucet. Once you say it once, it just kind of spreads everywhere. And so I would really try to align myself with people that I can trust. I think that I tried to do that with the Brown Sugar Babes. And then I heard about, the idea to potentially blindside me on the Izzy Felicia vote. And so that really just altered my trust. And from there, I was just like, oh, no, I can't trust any of you. So I probably find more people that I could trust and really try to stick to that.
What's more cutthroat, politics or Big Brother?
Oh, politics, 100%. You have so many avenues that you can explore in politics. You go from being a representative to a senator to maybe attorney general, governor, vice president, so on and so forth. Big Brother, you can only win so many HOHs and vetoes. So,
Well, I don't know if you've been caught up, but there's been some cutthroat political stuff happening over the past week.
No, I have not been caught up.
I'll wait for you to get your phone back, but there's been some things happening there that are maybe just as crazy as in the Big Brother house for the past week. Final question, Mecole. Just how messy and germ-infested is the Big Brother house?
Oh, it's disgusting. It is terrible. I mean, the bathrooms, horrendous. First of all, I would go into the bathroom stall and put tissue in my nose because it literally stunk so bad. The shower is terrible. I would take 15, 20-minute showers with my eyes closed because there are clumps of hair everywhere, have open bottles of shampoo and body wash. The bathroom sinks are always wet and filled with mouthwash or water. The dishes are never washed. The floor is never swept. It's disgusting. It's horrible. The kids are gross.
Not your problem anymore.
Not my problem anymore. No, I will not sweep another floor. I will not clean another bathroom. I will not wipe down another counter. That is somebody else's problem.